Welcome to Adventures in Freeze Drying. Today I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment. I bought me some good sweet onions and the Super Bowl is right around the corner. My husband loves Funions and there's nothing healthy in that bag of Funions for you. So I'm wondering if I slice some onions, if I can use those freeze dried as Funions. So let's go ahead and get these onions prepared and get started. So I simply chopped off this part of my onion right here. I left the root part in place. And I think I'm just going to slice these really nice and thick, kind of just going like so, leaving them in kind of long, thicker strips since the intention is to eat these like a chip. I don't want these super narrow. And then I'll just cut the root off like that. And then I'll peel this apart and get these laid out. I might discard that back part there because it's just a little bit not the consistency I want. A little rubbery there. But I'm going to put those pieces like this. We'll get them spread out on a tray and get them ready to freeze dry. I'm sure I could layer this, but since this is kind of an experiment, I am just going to do single layers on my 4 medium trays. So I'll see you once I get all of these on the tray. I've prepped 2 of my 4 onions. These are quite large. They're over a pound a piece. So while mass-wise, weight-wise, my trays are just fine, I didn't really want to layer these, but decided we might as well experiment. So I have 2 trays where they're not layered in any way whatsoever. I have 1 tray where they're just laying on top of each other without any extra parchment. And then I have this tray over here that I put parchment between my layers. I'm going to go ahead and get these in the freezer, and we'll get these going tomorrow. I've had a few extra things to get done today, so I'm just now getting down to getting my onions out of the freeze dryer. I always have 24 hours of extra dry time, and I'm down to just under 14 hours, so an extra 10 hours here. So this was a fast load. 14 hours is when it said it was done. With these being so thin, I don't think they've needed all this extra dry time. But again, when you have other things to do, my machine kept running. You cannot over dry freeze-dried food. These onions that were double layered did not stick to each other in any way, shape, or form. So I did not need the second layer of parchment. They would have been just fine without it. And I could have layered these much deeper because they have not stuck together. But we're going to go ahead and get these mainly bagged up, and we'll go do a trial taste test upstairs. I've gone ahead and bagged up most of my onions, and I got out my French onion dip. So let's go ahead and give these freeze-dried onion chips a try. So one, they didn't stick, so that was great. I could have layered these much deeper and gotten way more onions on my trays, but not knowing how those were going to happen, I went really light. They definitely feel styrofoamy. Ooh, that is super oniony. So, variety of onions probably going to be important here. I just used a yellow onion, and unless you can eat those like an apple, you may not like these because they're very oniony. I wonder if I can save them with some Dean's French onion dip. They're passable that way for me. Okay. Not my favorite thing ever. I do think this is going to be an individual palate. If you love onions, you can eat them like an apple. These are probably great. I'm wondering what a sweet onion, an actual Vidalia, something that's actually a true sweet onion, not just labeled a yellow onion, might make all the difference in the world. How strong the onion is before you freeze dry it. So we'll call this a half win. It's crispy. It's crunchy. It's chip-like. I can dip it in dip. It didn't break when I dipped it in the dip. So it has lots and lots of possibility here. I think I just freeze dried the wrong variety for myself. So if you know you like onions, this might be something for you to play with a little bit, but not a win for me, not something I'm going to be doing a lot of for the Super Bowl. So if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so down below. And anything you've seen as far as accessories can be found at freezedryingsupplies.com. All my recipes are in freezedryingcookbook.com. And we'll see you next time on Adventures in Freeze Drying.